All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to say, Kol Holo Yahweh Shem Yahshua B'Shem Rekah Kadash. First and foremost, giving all glory and honor to the Almighty Yahweh. Secondly, to His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. And thirdly, to the Rekah Kadash, which is the Holy Spirit that gives us all knowledge, wisdom, and truth. Also like to give double honors to the elect elders of Israel, as well as the servants and the apostles that's pushing this 144% truth with all sincerity and diligence, as well as I would like to give salutations to the confusion of faiths that's scattered across the four corners of the earth that come from the single line of Israel, as well as the Akim and Akwat, the men and women who have came to this wise council, those that are given diligence to make their calling and election sure. Blessings upon the house of David. All right, the beautiful brothers and sisters that acknowledge the new covenant and believe on the bloody Yahushua. All right, those that fear the Almighty Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and those that are rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord. I would like to say shalom. All right, coming back at you with another lesson through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. All right, and the title of this lesson is entitled World War III. All right, America has provoked the bear to come out of hibernation. All right, America has provoked the bear to come out of hibernation. All right, now as we know, all right, the end of their times, all right, the end of Esau's times is going to be brought through World War III. All right, let's get that established. All right, so give me one moment. I'm going to get that, grab some scriptures. All right, give me one quick moment. All right, so we understand that the end of Esau's times is going to come through him. All right, let's grab that in the book of 2nd Ezra. All right, chapter 11 and 39. All right, it says, are not thou it that remainest of the four beasts who I have made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? All right, so we are seeing that being orchestrated right now by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, who's putting this theater together, this theater of war, which is judgment, earth. All right, as the Lord said, Isaiah 55. All right, and let me grab that. And 8, it says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways," said the Lord. All right. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. All right, so it's the Lord that's putting this together. All right, it's only here for the prophets to interpret the vision to you. All right, that's what the prophets were sent to do. What that is, Nehemiah 8 and 8. Let's grab that, Nehemiah 8 and 8. It says, "So they read in the book of the law distinctly and gave the sense and caused them to understand the reading." So this is what the prophets here to do, to have you understand the judgment and the will of the Lord. All right, and to show you the majesty of how the Lord is putting this together behind the scenes in the spirit realm, which is going to manifest into the physical realm. All right, the Bible is a spiritual book. All right, the Bible encompasses time. All right, the Bible encompasses this time, these chain of events that's about to get ready to happen, prophecy. All right, and the Lord has prophets to warn and to make aware that this is going to happen with 1,000% certainty. All right, okay, all right, so let's move on. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 13 and 1. All right, and it reads, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea." All right, that's in a reference to what? People. All right, nations. All right, "And I saw a beast come up out of the sea." So what is he watching? The white man rise up from among the nations. That's the beast. All right, having what? 7 heads. 7 heads represents the 7 rulerships of the white man, Esau. All right, going from what? Germania Major, Germania Minor. All right, the French, the British. All right, what it is, Germanium Major, Germanium Minor, Rome, Greece, Germanium Major, Germanium Minor, all right, Rome, Greece, that's 4. What else? The Spanish, the French, that'll be 6. And then the 7th will be Britain. I know that for a fact. And America will come out of Britain. All right. All right. So this is So Revelations 13, and so those 7 heads represent the 7 rulerships of Esau. Those 10 horns represent those 10 countries or 10 families. All right, in the ancient times, all right, you had different families that were ruling in Rome. Where those same families are ruling now, these will be these elites. All right, that's ruling right now. All right, all right. So those 10 horns go to those 10 countries are also representing NATO as well too, because NATO started with what 10 countries. And upon his head he had 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. And this is talking about what? The so-called white man. Okay, and his new world order, his laws, his religion, everything against the Holy Bible, the scriptures, which is what? Anything that's against the Bible is blasphemy. This fictitious world that the white man created, democracy. All this shit is what? Blasphemy against the scriptures. It's against the will of the Lord. All right? And a beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, that represent what? The beginning of Esau, which Alexander the faggot, all right, the Edomite, he wore a leopard because what? He conquered, the Lord gave him the ingenuity to take down nations, all right, very quickly. Okay, so the beginning of Esau starts with what? That leopard, which is Alexander the Great, and his feet was as the feet of a bear. This represents how the end of his kingdom going to come by way of what? Russia. All right, so we're seeing this happen, this prophecy happening right now before our eyes. All right, the end of that statue, the white man rulership. All right, the end of the feet was a bear that represented Russia. Because Russia gonna bring the end. And his mouth was the mouth of a lion. Where does this legislation come out of? The Queen of England. All right, their mouthpiece. All right, the United Nations, the Queen of England. That lion represents England. Okay. And a little dragon was given his power and seat and great authority. That's these Edomites, what? Coming back into rule in this time. All right. Whereas Edom said what? After they took us down to the Dark Ages. Malachi 1 and 3. All right. It says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. This is when the Lord what? Took down the Roman Empire by way of what? Israel. Septimus Severus, through the spirit of Yahweh Shai, took the Greco-Roman Empire down and became the Holy Roman Empire, which is the Dark Ages. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished and we will return and build the desolate places. See? So this is what? The building of the second leg of the Roman Empire. Thus said the Lord, the host they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them a border of wickedness, and a people against whom the Lord have indignation forever. All right. All right. So the Lord gonna throw them down by what? World War III, and He's gonna use what? The Russians to do it. Now, where I want to go now. Let's go to the video, all right? Because the title, what I named this video is entitled World War III, All right, America has poked the bear to come out of hibernation. And when this bear come, he coming to what? Devour. All right, let's grab a precept real quick. Let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra 16:1. It says, woe be unto Babylon and Asia, woe be unto Egypt and Syria, gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent among you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? Plagues are sent to you, and who may drive them away? May any drive away a hungry lion in the wood, or may any quench the fire in the stubble when it begin to burn? May one turn an arrow that is shot of a strong archer. All right? And that strong archer is going to be what? Russia. All right? So Russia, as we know through the scriptures, all right, when Israel get hit, America going to get hit too. All right? So we are very close to America getting hit, the chip coming forward. Everything, prophecy is all lined up. So we're going to grab this video.
They're looking at things.
All right.
This is a NATO army. What I mean by that is they're using NATO weapons, but more importantly, they're using NATO tactics. And I'm not talking about just, small unit tactics, etc. The next phase of warfare, where each piece of military equipment, each soldier is linked collectively into some sort of singularity of information resources that can be communicated to a remote command post that has total situational awareness and is able to direct things. They have intelligence beamed in on this, and real time they're able to predict Russian movements and anticipate Russian movements. They're deploying new generations of drones, including some high-speed drones that are being used. This isn't a limited incursion. This is an effort to defeat Russia on the battlefield, to capture a significant part of Russia, to disrupt significant parts of the Russian economy. I mean, two of the objectives are this oil.
All right, so just to speak on this, Ukraine pushing into Russia right now. All right, in a piece of Russia. Now, what's the goal of the New World Order? To make all these countries that have an IMF bank in it, all right, to topple their governments, bring their economies, and bring them online to what? This New World Order system, which is the chip. You got a group. You got a group that's against that, which is called the what? BRICS, which is called the BRICS nations. All right, they're against coming online with the New World Order. All right. All right, so, all right, Russia's job was to what? Break the power of America. This is the job that has been given to Russia. All right, Russia's that proverbial knight that the Lord is going to use to bring down America. All right. Let me see here. What I want to grab something here. Let me go back to the video real quick. And
by that is they're using NATO weapons. Okay. But more importantly,
that's the spirit. All right, so let's go to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 1 and verse 18. Zephaniah, chapter 1. No, Zechariah, chapter 1 and verse 18. That's what I want. Zechariah 1 and 18. All right. Let's start at 17. It says, cry yet, saying, thus said the Lord of hosts, my cities through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad. This is the kingdom. And the Lord shall yet comfort Zion. The Lord has comforted us by giving us the Holy Spirit. And shall choose Jerusalem. Right now, the Lord is bringing all these nations down, making them our footstool to give us the kingdom. All right. It says, then I lifted up my eyes and I saw four horns, and I said unto the angel that talked with me, what be these? And he said unto me, these are those horns which have scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. Who took part in that? The white man. Who was controlling these countries that facilitated our enslavement? All right, who was controlling these countries? The fake Jews. All right, all right. You had a lot of Israelites that came out of Europe into the Americas, into the Caribbean, and then after Europe, they went to West Africa and created the triangular slave trade. And then you had Native Americans coming over here to Europe. All right, as subjects to those kings and queens. All right. So who took a part in this? Those horns that scattered Judah, Israel, and Jerusalem. All right, the white man. All right, Britain. Britain, Ireland, the Irish, the British, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the Germans. All of them had a part in scattering Israel, which all these countries that really push forward with this are a part of NATO countries. Okay, verse 20. And the Lord showed me 4 carpenters, and I said, what come these to do? And he spake, saying, these are the horns which have scattered Judah, so that no man did lift up his head. All right, that's the white man having total control over our nation. It says, but these are come to fray them. All right, so Russia and China is set up to what? All right, what? Fray, rip or tear. To fray means to tear something, to rip. So what? The Lord is raising up this army, all right, Russia and China, to rip and bring America's power down to the ground. All right, and it's going to be spearheaded by Russia. All right, it says to cast out the horns of the Gentiles, their power over the earth, which lifted up their horn over the land of Judah to scatter it. All right, so the purpose of Russia is to what? That the Lord is going to use Russia to do is what? Bring America to his knees. All right, the Lord is going to use Russia to what? Bomb first on America. All right. All right, so let's continue.
By that is they're using NATO weapons, but more importantly, they're using NATO tactics. And I'm not talking about just, small unit tactics, etc. The next phase of warfare, where each piece of military equipment, each soldier is linked collectively into some sort of singularity of information resources that can be communicated to a remote command post that has total situational awareness and is able to direct things. They have intelligence beamed in on this, and real time, and they're able to predict Russian movements and anticipate Russian movements. They're deploying new generations of drones, including some high-speed drones that are being used. This isn't a limited incursion. This is an effort to defeat Russia on the battlefield, to capture a significant part of Russia, to disrupt significant parts of the Russian economy. I mean, 2 of the objectives are this oil transfer station and the Kursk nuclear power plant. These are objectives to be disrupted, damaged, destroyed by the Ukrainian invader, but they're supposed to hold on to this territory, not give it back. This is a Western army that went in. This is a NATO army that went in, fighting the next generation war that NATO, all NATO troops are being trained upon. The irony is that apparently only the Ukrainians know how to do it. Now, this is a totally different approach than it was taken in the summer of 2023 when the Ukrainians launched their big counteroffensive that failed dramatically against Russian defenses. Look, they've got the M1 tanks. They've got the Leopards, they've got the Bradleys, they've got the Strykers, they've got the Martyrs, they've got the Caesar artillery, M777, they got the HIMARS. It's all there, all integrated using Starlink and other communications capabilities that are managed by Americans and NATO people. They have embedded the Ukrainian force with facilitators. Whether you want to call them mercenaries or sheep dipped, doesn't matter. They're not Ukrainian. And many of the combat forces are literally Polish army forces that have been redesignated as Ukrainian forces. There's some French combat units. We're talking about, company-sized units of Frenchmen that fight as a unit. under the flag of Ukraine, but wearing the French arm patch. There's lots of Americans there. So this is it. This is the strategic reserve of Ukraine. And the idea that they would throw it away in a futile effort is absurd. The Ukrainians believe they can win. The Ukrainians believe they are winning. Now, I've spoken to Russians and I listened to Abdialadanov, and the Russians, of course, are of a different opinion. And I think the majority of the West shares the Russian opinion, meaning, wow, Ukraine, good job. Nice little temporary victory, but what happens when Russia starts to grind you down? But the goal here was to inflict political damage on Russia, to embarrass Vladimir Putin to an extent that succeeded. But you have to understand that Putin is untouchable in this regard. He just won an election. He has 80% support of the population. So the idea you're doing political damage to Putin is absurd. You're actually just strengthening him, because the Russian people are programmed to rally around their leader, and now all of Russia is rallying around this cause. One of the goals was to divert Russian military resources away from the Donbass, from Donetsk, Lugansk, Zaporizhia fronts. No, those forces have remained intact, and they continue to advance. People have forgotten that Russia's taking 5, 6, 10 kilometers worth of territory a day, and this inexorable advance across the Ukrainian plains of Donbass. And if you think there's going to be a city of Lvov left over when this is done, think again. Lvov is the heart of Banderist ideology, and Russia has now said it's over, finished, до свидания. That's just my perception. But I have to tell you that this official, who is connected, he's in government, made it clear that Ukraine is going to learn what war is in the very near future. And he said it will send a shiver down the spine of everybody in the West. So, congratulations, NATO.
See, that's that mighty strong archer. And what now Ukraine has penetrated into Russian territory, which is going to bring forth Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. So now NATO is, all right, according to 1948. All right, let's grab that for edification. All right, the 1948. All right, 1948 NATO line. All right. Let's see. All right. Get a good picture. All right. All right. So, all right. NATO back in 1948 was somewhere around here. All right. Where you see that green line. What do we say? Okay. 1949. All right. That was the NATO line. NATO wasn't supposed to come past that red line. Now what? 1958, they done pushed further. 1963, they push it further. Now they got Poland, all these other countries. All right, so, all right, NATO now was what? Western Germany. All right, West Germany. All right, Belgium, France. So since that agreement, NATO has pushed all the way now to what? The Russian doorsteps. All right, and this is going to bring forth what? Russia. All right, this is the Lord stirring up the Medes, because now you're penetrating on Russian territory. And Russia knows that if it falls, it's going to succumb to the New World Order. So what? Russia's going to use its nuclear technology to defend itself and its high advanced weaponry, which the Lord has girded Russia with. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 13 and 17. All right, Isaiah 13 and 17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Right? Who been supplying Ukraine with all that money and the weapons? America. So they know that it's really America fighting this war. With just Ukraine got its stamp on it. It's a proxy war. But eventually, this is gonna burst out to a full-fledged world war. All right. Once the least of the flock draw them out. Once Israel make that strike on Iran. All right. All right. That's what we waiting on. Well, yeah. The Lord is stirring up the Medes against America. All right. It says, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it." You ain't gonna be able to bow this destruction. You're not gonna be able to stop it. You're not gonna be able to diplomatically stop World War III. All right. Once it goes full scope. Their bows, which is the avant-garde, that Zircon missile, that Satan II missile, their bows also shall dash the young men into pieces. They shall have no pity upon the fruit of the womb. The eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, so we seeing right now that the Lord is positioning himself to destroy America. Right now as we speak, the time is running short. The doomsday clock, we get very close. This economy, about everything is on time. Everything is happening perfectly. All right, then they got this monkeypox thing going crazy, getting ready to. Everything, the judgment is about to get ready to hit. All the pieces, as we can see, as the prophets are presenting themselves. All right, we see right now Russia has invaded and has penetrated into Russia and is hitting targets in Russia. Russia ain't gonna have that. All right, let's grab that Jeremiah 51. And 11, Jeremiah 51 and 11. 51 and 11. It says, make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the king of the Medes. For his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord and the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon, make the watch strong, set up the watchmen, prepare the ambushes, for the Lord of hosts hath devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. All right, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, America with its military bases and embassies everywhere, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness. So this shows you that we are clearly at the end. America's end has come. All right, we here. All right, this is the end. All right, there's nowhere else to say it. We here. The prophecies are speaking. The destruction is every day we wake up, we get closer to that day of destruction. I was thinking about that yesterday. We're going to wake up one day and the missiles going to be coming. All right. All right. Let's also go to Ezekiel 38. All right. Ezekiel chapter 38. And I want to touch on just a couple of parts in here. All right. I'm going to just touch on verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put the hook in thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So what? Ukraine penetrating into Russia is going to put the hook in Russia's jaws and bring them forth. To what? Push NATO back until what? That's the goal, is to what? All right. Let me grab this one moment. All right. Russia's goal is to what? All right. Putin got that old Soviet Union spirit on him. And the goal is to push them back to that red line. NATO. So that's a lot of territory right there. All right, let me see if I can get another picture that makes things a lot clearer. All right. So it says founding members of 1949, those 10 nations join in what? All right. All these other countries joining after that. Now what? They want Ukraine to become a NATO. All right. What's this? Belgrade? That's north of Ukraine. So them taking Ukraine, pushing into Russian territory. Russia ain't gonna have that. That's gonna cause what? Them hook. That's gonna put that hook in their jaws and bring them forth to push them back to that 1948 NATO agreement line. All right, let's go down. And start at 9. It says, "Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be as a cloud that cover the land. All thy bands and men of people with thee, thus said the Lord. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt, that at the same time thou shalt, things shall come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought." Well, what's the evil thought? We got to stop America. All right, Ukraine is on our doorstep. We got to push them back. We can't allow America to send them no more weapons. We have to cut off their supplies. And we've been backed into a corner militarily. What's going to free us up? These thermonuclear missiles, right? We're not going to lose. We're not going to allow America to conquer us. We're not going to allow NATO to conquer us. So if we had to use nukes to bag y'all up and destroy y'all, we willing to press that button. And Putin go press that button. All right. As you're going to see in this chapter. All right. Verse 11, "And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages." That's America. "I will go to them that at rest, that dwell safely, that dwell without bars, having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil and to take a prey, and turn my hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods, and dwell in the midst of the land. Sheba, Dedan, and the merchants of Tarshish, and all the young lions shall say unto thee, Art thou come to take a spoil? Has they gathered out thy company to take a prey, to carry away the silver and the gold, and to take away the cattle's goods and the great spoil? Therefore, son of man, prophesy against Gog. Thus said the Lord, in that day when the people of Israel dwell slavery, shall thou not know, and thou shalt come from out of the northern parts, thou and men of people with thee, and all of them riding upon horses in a great company and a mighty army, and thou shalt come against my people Israel. So what? That's going to be the Russians invading America. All right, and they too. All right. He shall come against the habitation of the strong. Right? What that is, Jeremiah 51. Let me just grab that. He shall come against the habitation of the strong. Grab that real quick. Jeremiah 49 and 19. The earth is moved at the noise of their fall, and the cry of the noise heard them in the Red Sea. Behold, he shall come up and fly as an eagle and spread his. All right, and that's going into Russia. All right, Russia, what? Coming what? To knock America ass off. All right. Ezekiel 38 and 15. And thou shalt come out of thy place from the northern parts, thou and many people with thee, all of them with horses in a great company of mighty army. All right, thou shalt come up against my people Israel as a cloud to cover the land. It shall be in the latter days. All right, and I will bring thee against my land. This is America, that the heathen may know me, when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. That's spiritual power. Thus said the Lord, art thou he of whom I have spoken of in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years that I will bring you against them? So that's what written here in the scriptures. So we're seeing a precursor to what? The Russians being what? Coming out. All right. The Lord putting a hook in their jaws and bringing them forth. All right. So we're seeing that prelude to what? All right. Russia raising up, and what the end of their times coming through what? The feet of the bear. All right. So I wanted to just do that quick lesson. All right. And this NATO invading Russia, this is a game-changing event. All right, because Putin said, he threatened. If y'all get, he threatened to use nuclear weapons. And that's also what? Biblical prophecy as well, too. All right. Shalom to the brother Bernard Bailey. All right, let me see what he got here. 2nd Ezra 1:7. Am I not even he that brought them out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage? But they have provoked me unto wrath and despised my counsels. All right. Luke 18:17. And shall not Yahweh avenge his own elect, who cry unto him day and night, though he bear along with them. And that's us with these lessons. Every time we go out in the highways and the byways, the Lord even what? Hears our murmurs. All right. The Lord hears our thoughts. The Lord tries the hearts and the reins. All right. So it's what? It's best to meditate on righteousness. All right. Meditate on what? Salvation, the kingdom, these scriptures. All right. Having faith in the Lord. All right. Because what? Prophecy is playing out right before our eyes. All right. And what? America ain't got that long. All right. The hourglass is almost out of sand on this place. It's really out of gas. It's just that the Lord is holding it. All right. To what? Make sure all the prophecy is fulfilled. All right. And that's what we waiting on. The elect to be sealed. That destruction might come, that what? Yahweh willing, we might receive salvation. All right. Deliverance from our enemies. All right. So I hope that this lesson was edifying. I would like to say, call Holo Yahabashimi Ashabashim Kakadash. Shalom.